face. People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get out my problems, let me When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the New York Jets. It's a very short kick taken by an up man.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. And incomplete to open things up. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his close. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with the screens.
And the pressure gets to him again. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Let's go! Let's go! At their own 28-yard line.
Foles and the Jags come up now first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's Foles. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold, and his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold, and that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room and pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
At the 15-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
3rd and 2.
Wait. Get him! Jim! Hey, go! Sound go!
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Bulldozes past him. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
That's trash. Check. Tiger. 6-6. Pull it high. Check. Go with 5-3. Hey, Haywood.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Leonard Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Foles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On 2nd and 9, Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. He figured that those nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Talbot. Smith, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. These two teams all tied after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's good for Jaguars. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Check. Watch the before. Down to hit.
Now Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Let's bring it. Check out.
Fournette running out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up third down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Under. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I got him. Right there. 59.
They'll drop the throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Escaping the pressure right.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
50 seconds to Mike. You. Hey, check Mike. Girl. Mike 57. Stop your
A shotgun give to Fournette. About 3 yards there to the 27.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
From the 22, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
A gain of 16 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a... And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brandon Copeland in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
What we got?
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Henry Anderson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football, led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you need it. And he can't find room to run. Bell's going to go down, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Darnold from the gun. And he's got a noon one. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Darnold now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
You got 3 down.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Jets' 48-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
13 yards on the play.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Sponge. What we got? What we got? No. Silence.
They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will push the lead up to 12-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
From the 35 on second down. Darnold caught here by Bell. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Open man is Anderson. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On second and 11 now. Darnold. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And it's a fumble, and the Jags grab it. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's third and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it fourth down. So with a fourth and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This one through, and that now makes this a 15-7 game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
You think you won't get this? Oh, lady. Here we go, here we go. Minus 50, minus 50. So don't say
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily. And he loses the football the 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
That's really nice coverage there. I'm not sure he would have gotten to the 1st down marker anyway, but boy, oh boy, did they blanket him.
Yeah, short throw, but he really didn't have many options. Had to force it in. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to force it in somewhere. Incomplete.
Yeah, now it brings up 4th down.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Right. Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run with Fournette, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's going to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
11 yards there, first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First down, and they go right back to blue. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
23 yards, the final tally. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd run.
What a huge play at this point in the game. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Jaguars, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.